Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And I have just finished the second season of Street Woman Fighter, which means I get to finish my Street Woman Fighter Season 1 equivalents because I've been reacting to them both at the same time because I was not a reactor at the time the first show was released. I'm playing a little bit of catch up here. So we're going to be taking a look at the top 4 opening. It's 7 rings. Funny that is the opener for this because that was a track used for 1 Million for the Ariana Grande set for their finale. So it's kind of fun to see this here. It's going to be with the final cruise. Let's go ahead and take a watch. Ooh. Guys, I love the color. The color grade on this. They're matching the colors of their crew. Come on. Okay. Got cocoa and butter. They're operating with a group of 5 here. Come on, let's go. Yes. Okay. Woo, okay. Got Holy Bang here. Nice. Okay, Hook, we see you. There you go. Definitely feels we're setting up for the finals. Ready to go. Yep, and this was during the time with it was still a lot of restrictions in place. So this is super cool. I love the fact they got to have an audience. Let's start there. Love that. Going back from the top here, guys, this is my favorite color grading that they could do for lighting. I don't know if it's the light or how they did it editing wise. I freaking love it. I saw it with the Muse of Street Man Fighter. I absolutely adore this because just the color, it's just the grayscale with the pop of color is so cool. It's so cool to me. And I love that we have our 4 and they get to represent with their colors. I love that. Having it finish up, starting with cocoa and butter. Now, I like the fact they're operating with 5. Normally when they do with 4, they don't really explore as many formations. Obviously, when you have 4 people, you can't do as much with 5 because you have a natural point, and when you want to feature someone, it's going to be more symmetrical. Right here, it just kind of feels like they're just having their own, like they're just kind of vibing out. They're not doing anything. They're not going super hard here, right? I'm hopeful that we're going to see some really good sets from them in the finals between the 2 missions, but I do know they've done, they've held their own, they've done great, and they've definitely been a competitor on this show. So it's really nice to see them here. But when you notice, even on the cleanliness side, they weren't really having the same head. They weren't being directionally in sync with each other there, nor here. A lot of their torsos are not quite at the same angles. And I don't think this was probably just like an add-on. It wasn't anything super crazy. They were like, we got to really pop off here. It was we're in the finals, It is stressful, but not the same type of stress. Now, Lachka popped off. And also, I'm noticing with the Converse, both with Cocoa and Butter and with Lachka, they have their shoes match their outfits, which I love. Yep, right here. Then they're mixing. What they've done is they've mixed Vogue with whacking right there. And then from there, going to a duck walk, whip the hair down into a dip. I love that. It really speaks. It's simple. Like what they did was simple, but it just speaks volumes on who the group is. Love it. Then it brings over. Now they've remixed the track. Now we have Holy Bang. Holy Bang, they're one of the biggest groups Also, Hook is also one of the biggest. So I would say you're operating with your lowest number would be Cocoa and Butter and Lachka, and then your biggest numbers would be Holy Bang and Hook. So I have to double check with the lineup to see who won. I know Holy Bang won. I think Hook got second, right? I'm not sure. But anyway, it is really nice to see Lachka in the finals. I really like, Holy Bang's been very consistent this whole show. And I also knew at the very beginning that they were going to be the ones that won. So I do have that frame in mind when I do see them in the competition. And then with Hook as well, I really do think out of all the groups, Hook is the most theatrical. And I think that's what I'm really drawn to, especially because culturally for myself, we can be very expressive in theatrics and gimmicks and concepts, and I'm all for humor and parodies and things, which is why I love the gag Street Woman Fighter equivalents of the show, which I will be getting to after I finish with Street Woman Fighter. I will be getting into the gag equivalents. It's gonna send me. I can't wait. But all that to say though, like I am more drawn to groups like Hook than I am with other groups because I feel like their identity, we're able to see it more clearly. But what you just notice here, all of this here going into hitting your typical musicality notes for what Holy Bang did. They maintained their formation, didn't really do any major formation shifts. We're going to see that in the challenges. Like I've already said, this is more like for fun, not quite for, what's the word? Not quite for the competitive. This isn't going to influence their score, if that makes sense. You know, keeping it unison, they're probably like, let's do choreo, building it up, matching the typical parts, but not doing major, they're not doing super major formation shifts or things that we normally see from them. Then we have with Hook. Hook, on the other hand, they popped off the whole time. They broke it out, bring it up, having somebody feature. Still unison here, which I really like, but then they bleed it through, have a new point. It is fun that we don't see Ike in the front because I feel like Hook this season, they also were ones who, it was Ike and the girls is really what it felt for a lot of it that I was watching, but it is really nice to see that you see Hook as a group, you know? And then everyone's here. They popped off. Lachika popped off. And I think it's interesting too. Very clean. You notice that you have your 4 designated groups in their sections. It could be because of the regulations of that time, but I know with season 2, you had everybody kind of enmeshed together and your leaders at the front. But I really like this because it's very easy to designate, and it was probably very easy to film as well. If this was a live performance, it was easier on the camera guy. Now they're kind of repeating stuff on the same side, you know, they're kind of popping it off. Something that we're already expecting though. Turn and they finish, boom, confetti. Then you have people cheer in the audience. I love it. Good chance that it could be other members from the show that are watching, right? Or it could be friends, family, what have you. I don't know the scope of what happened. Like, I don't know the scope of who was invited to this, because remember, regulations were, it was 2021, right? So regulations were still very strict in Korea because of 2020. So, but all in all, definitely a great start to the finals. Exactly what I expected, because I just saw the season 2 equivalents. I think season 2, they played around more with the camera work, but obviously, I feel like there's different regulations, different things in play here, which contributes to the simplicity of the camera, as well as they were probably constrained and confined to a certain section of the stage for this as well, just for the sake of making sure we can get it all in one take. But I very much enjoyed it. It was nice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. With this type of section of the show, I did say this about season 2, I get into more of the empathetic, really reminiscing on the journey, more so than micro-analyzing. I mean, it really just kind of depends on the mission, especially the last mission or whenever they're all dancing together. I'm not super analytical. I just get to kind of look through maybe why choices were made, but not quite, ooh, that one move should have been done in this way. I'm not quite looking at it with that lens here. I may in one of the missions, but in the last mission, I normally don't. So do forgive me if that's what you were expecting. But remember too, I mean, even though I am an educator and I am an adjudicator on certain circuits, at the end of the day, I am a dancer, I'm a human, and I want to be able to enjoy what I'm watching as well and not overly microscope, eliminate the emotional aspect of it, because I think that's what makes it beautiful at the same time, you know? But if you want to see more Street Woman Fighter content, I have content from this season that has never made its way to YouTube and won't make it to YouTube due to sorry about that. just due to the, what is it, copyright. Copyright's just been brutal on this season specifically. So that's why I have to, it has to stay on Patreon. So I'm sorry for that. If you want to check it out, you can. But luckily, I formatted this video to where it would pass the copyright things of YouTube, so it can make its way to you there. Patreon, it's already there hanging out. So, but I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.